Chequeen los lentes de Rico.
Chequeen los lentes.
Chequeen los lentes.
Look at those lenses.
Me borró el lente.
Yeah. Wepa! Rico.toro. Back at ya. So, step in properly. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Suscribir. I always mess up that word trying to say subscribe in Spanish. I don't know why. Anyways, just do so if you haven't already. So, what do I miss about America? Before we get into that, please keep your comments positive, respectful, or at least constructive. Doing anything else, playing keyboard tough guy or throwing that negativity around, all it does really, it can get you embarrassed. I could get you publicly or privately embarrassed in a big way, because I might have a bigger platform and voice than you. Or it could just get you blocked, removed, suspended, whatever. Actually, I did come across something I didn't realize recently, speaking of comments, and I'll get right into the video. There's actually, behind the scenes, there's a, when I go into the comments, there's a tab that says held for review. And I just discovered that. And I clicked in there and I had like some old comments never saw before. And some of them were pretty just regular. Maybe it's a person's choice of some profane language that got it held up. Others was just, borderline racist stupidity or just really bad. But after looking at a few, I just went and removed all of them, which is what I'm going to do going forward. I'm not even going to look at them, so if we can't be mature, grown, respectable men and women, then, what's the point? So if you're back in this church again, but hated it the first time or two you stepped in, I don't know why you're back. Stop coming back to shit you don't like. If you don't like Sosua, you don't like Sosua vloggers, stop coming back. You have no life if you're here, but you hate what I'm about or what the channel's about. That just means you have no life, because I got a pretty good life. So, what do I miss about America? And all that, I mean all that just to say, I'm never angry. I'm never really upset. I'm never really that emotional when I make a video. I'd say sometimes I'm just more animated than others to prove a point, or sometimes I'm slightly annoyed. But that's about it. I don't take nothing too harsh or too serious. I do here. So, what do I miss about America? Honestly, serious answer. I miss my family. Miss my dad, my sisters. My family is very spread out in the States. Everywhere from Virginia to Florida to Arizona, New Mexico. So the downside of that is, even when I was living in America, the United States, I don't like to just say America. That's kind of unworldly. Worldly people say the United States. People that have passports and travel. So anyways, when I was living in the States, I didn't see that much of my family anyways, except for an occasional holiday, because sometimes I lived in different states than my dad or my sisters and cousins. And unless you're married and have some children, perhaps, a lot of single people, in our age groups, they don't see a lot of their family anyways. So what does that mean? The rest of the time, you're sitting around, sitting on your ass, bored as hell, waiting for a holiday or something. You're the one sitting around waiting to be available and accessible to them, while they're too busy with their lives playing soccer mom or baseball dad or the workaholic cousin that don't have time for you anyways. So that's not really spending much quality time with family anyways, as far as I see it. But I do, like I say, I do miss being a little bit closer when needed, and a little more frequency with family. But I'm just not willing to sit around and sacrifice my life for long stretches of time in between those visits, if that makes sense. So I'm not even bothering to turn the phone in horizontal film as I usually do, because I'm kind of tired right now, actually. Friday, had a challenging week. So anyways, what do I miss? Do I miss New York pizza? No, there's good enough pizza in Sosua, Puerto Plata, honestly. I miss Krispy Kreme donuts and Dunkin' Donuts. Well, the trade-off is to that. I can go within 5-10 minutes to several places and have a good, freshly cooked breakfast any morning that I wish. Or I can make a call and have a very attractive young woman cook breakfast for me at home if that's what I wish, without having to be married or without having to have children or pay an extreme amount of money for that kind of help around the house. So I guess I don't really miss Dunkin' Donuts and Krispy Kreme that much. I could say I miss organized driving or lawful driving. Well, with that organized driving and lawful driving in the States, there's a lot of road rage. We don't have road rage here. We don't have people just shooting through cars on the highway here. We just have some people that have no common sense and sort of a lot of chaos on the roads driving. But they pretty much shrug it off if somebody upsets them, irritates them, annoys them for sitting at a light too long. They just go around them. So let's see. Do I miss the electricity grid, the power grid of the United States? We have blackouts here. We have storms that kill the main power. We have times when there's no hot water. You have places that, if you rent on the cheap, don't have hot water at all. You have, when it rains, the cable goes out a lot of times. So do I miss that sort of, I guess you'd call that infrastructure? Here's the thing. I can easily, I usually can still, I have an inverter, I have backup electricity, so I'm not slumming that bad. Usually I have hot water, enough. So, no, I don't miss that. I have pretty girls and palm trees that replace a lot of that stuff. Pretty girls and palm trees. without having to get married to have pretty girls. So, do I miss online dating? Do I miss, the online dating, Plenty of Fish or Match.com or any of those others? You know, Tinder. Well, we got Tinder here. Do I miss any of that? You know, the algorithm matching me, a 52-year-old male. Do I miss those algorithms matching me with obese, 3 times divorced, 40 to 65-year-old women with 3 kids? I mentioned obese. Got nothing wrong with obese, but I don't know what society and what algorithm or what system determines that's my match. Just because that's what society believes. I don't play by society's rules. Who am I? Sam Sausage Head? So, don't miss that. Don't miss online dating. Do I miss shopping? Being able to go to a decent mall, go to Macy's, go to Foot Locker, Finish Line, Nordstrom, you know, at the drop of a dime. Well, sometimes I thought about it once in a while. And the last time I did go in the store, usually when I go to the States and visit, I do go in the mall at least once. You know, I always have an agenda. I bought a couple pairs of jeans a previous trip. Bought a couple of random t-shirts. Usually I like Macy's. Previous trip. Bought some sneakers this last trip. However, and you know, might buy some random stuff in Walmart like underwear. You glad you know that, right? But while I'm in the hunt, while I'm in the lines, while I'm dealing with obnoxious people that complain about the cashier moving too slow, when that's not really their issue. The real issue is their husband's cheating, or their son failed his math test, or you know, his old lady didn't give him no play last night, even though she said she would if he cleaned up the garage. That's the real issue. The real issue is not that cashier moving too slowly. So, mental illness in the States. A lot of that. I don't miss that. You know, it kind of just had me thinking, there's a reason why people shop online a lot. Part of it is the variety. Like sneakers, for instance. You know, there's a lot of sneakers that the sneaker selection was not great, at least in the suburban malls that I was in like Foot Locker or Finish Line. Better to go online. So I don't really miss the shopping. I miss boredom. I miss boredom because I'm never bored here. When I'm not working, there's always something social to do. You know, in the States, I was bored a lot. You know, your friends that you think are friends, you ask them to do something, they're like, maybe next Tuesday. And then Tuesday comes, can we do it tomorrow instead? You know, and, or we can go, but I need you to pay my way. You know, it's like, friendships and social lives just don't exist a lot in the States anymore. I mean, I talk to my sisters, and, you know, one of them's newly divorced. Hope she's not watching, just the random when she decides to watch. I feel for you, Shell. Love you. The other one is married, quite busy. her and my brother-in-law, because he's a musician, and also and they're pretty active socially, with other couples, or they each do their own thing. He has his friends, she has her friends she hangs out with. Still, they go to dinners, movies, events, etc. But that's kind of rare. That's not the norm. Whereas the other sister, it's kind of like, don't really have too many friends, because in her area of the States, you get married and you do everything with your family. You hang out with your family, your husband or your wife, the kids, or if the kids are grown, you hang out with the grandkids or the cousins, the nieces. You do everything with them, but you have no friends. Whereas I could probably go have dinner tonight. If I don't call anybody, I'll run into some friends. Or I can call one or two and they'll say, what time? Just like if I really need help from a friend or something, I don't miss, they say, what time? And where at? What time? So that I really don't miss. So there's trade-offs to everything, is my point. I do miss, right now, this is near and dear to me, kind, and I'm gotten a ton of advice. Thanks for the well wishes, but no more advice. I do miss the availability of high quality health care in the States. Because if you're in New York, you have like Presbyterian, you have Beth Israel. If you're in New Jersey, you have Rutgers Medical Center. If you're in DC, you have NIH, Adventist. If you're in Florida, the median age is like 62 or something. So, cardiologists are all over the place, good ones. So I miss that. But, however, the trade-off is, here, Monday, I'm going to get my latest results. Probably Monday or Tuesday. I'm going to be following up with the cardiologist Thursday or Friday. In the States, I will be getting my results Monday or Tuesday. I will be following up with the cardiologist in December. Or, because the holiday season, February 2023. And that's just not acceptable to me right now. So there's trade-offs to everything. So I guess, all in all, it's not a lot that I really miss. Pretty girls and palm trees make up for a whole lot of lacking of anything. Salute to you.